Here we have agenda for today, where we are going to talk about the category of my transformation inside Informatica, that is nothing but active and passive transformation. And then we are going to check out how DB to DB data load is happening with a simple way. What are the responsible part which comes in between? How do we connect to the source DB, and how do we connect to the target DB, where connections are important, and how important the connections are if my data load is happening from DB to DB side. Also, we are going to check out some of the best practices when it goes to the load side. Especially at the load side, what are the best practices given to us? And then at the end, the error handling at the session, means at the task side, what are the options we have available? We'll check it out, that one. In between, we'll see that how load is going to be decided, and what are the options we have by which we can manage it. All right. So this is going to be an agenda for today, and let me populate my PPT here. We have a division of transformation. Entire transformation has been divided in two parts. That is nothing but active transformation and passive transformation. When I'm talking about active transformation, the active transformation is nothing but a transformation which is participated in changing number of rows when data is moving from source to target. Basically, if you take an example of filter is the best example of your active transformation, where number of records at the source side varied from the target. The number of records present at the source side varies from the target. If I have 10 records at the source, if I'm applying a filter transformation, I'm not going to get it all 10 out into the output, because filter is going to restrict some of the records at this level. And as a reason, what we are going to see is, we are going to see a number of rows changes at the place of my transformation level, which is nothing but a filter transformation. Alright. Also, as it is saying, not about like the rows is present or rows is like a rows is deleted. It's saying like any changes in the number of rows, if it is happening, then could be called at active transformation. So when I'm saying filter as an active transformation, we know that pretty well how it is active transformation. But what about the shorter transformation? The shorter transformation inside the Informatica Power Center used for shorting the data. What if I'm shorting the data, how come I'm changing the number of rows? So basically at the number of rows side, if I'm going to short the information, I can see my same number of quantity of rows at the end, but the sorting order, whatever we have applied, like let's say an example, if I have a data for employee and I'm having a particular manager who's assigned for each and every department. So if I wanted to track down everything or short down everything by the manager destination, what will happen? Or if I short down everyone with the salary wise, what will happen? The record is changed. Whatever the number of was there to the source side, it is changed. Now it has been shorted. So as I mentioned earlier also, when we are talking about number of rows change, we are not talking about that it is going to be deleted or allowed to the target side. Any changes onto the row side, it can be considered as a active transformation. So shorter transformation is also going to be a active transformation. If we have insertion of new column or any new column which is generated while writing the expression, then that also can be counted as my active transformation. But as of now, we could see that when I'm moving on and I'm looking to the aggregator transformation, the aggregator transformation task over here in Informatica Power Center is to deliver aggregates using their 5 aggregate functions. Alright, so again, when I'm saying participated in the changing number of rows, my number of rows changes when I say I have a salary and I'm a salesperson, so also I'm getting some sales commissions. I'm a salaried person who is nothing but a salesperson having a regular salary plus commission. So if I'm going to take both the things from the source, and if I'm going to make them aggregate, saying that total salary or average salary of the salesperson, or I can make it like sum of the salesperson's salary, then what is happening here? Previously, how much record we were? Previously, we have, suppose like 5 salespersons are there. For each, we have 5 records. Now, if I did this total, if I applied the sum function, I'm going to get it 1 record only, right? If I'm going to average it, I'm going to get it 1 record only. If I wanted to count how many salespersons are there, if I count it, I'm going to get it 1 record. So record previously it was 5, and now it is onto the target side 1. Consider the aggregate transformation as an active transformation. This is how your aggregate transformation also going to be considered as a active transformation. Let me put another picture to the another transformation. Router. Router transformation is nothing but a transformation which is going to give you it's allow you to route the data with the condition in multiple targets. As we know that in data stage you have a switch which is used for multi-distribution of files in the target based on the condition. So router purpose is the same. Router takes the data, distribute it as per the cases, as per the condition. So I have the collection. Suppose like I'm having a business in United States, and some business is running in Indiana, some is running in Florida, some is in there in New Jersey. I'm collecting all the data from all these places where my business type is single. I'm having a one type of business. So mostly we'll try to make it everything standard at all the places. That means my table definition and the fields which I'm going to manage on operational side will be the same. So I'm getting the inputs from multiple Z. I'm getting data from New Jersey, Minnesota, Indiana, Florida, and then New Jersey. Alright, so all the data is coming. But after doing manipulation inside it, I wanted to redistribute it into their concerned managers. Data is coming into the centralized system which is located in New York, and again it will be distributed to their concerned managers for further analysis. So at that time, my router transformation, what it does, it routes the data based on the condition. Alright, so we are going to write the condition here. So at the centralized system we have like 1 lakh record. And how much data we are routing to the each target? Maybe 10,000 records. 10,000 records to each target. So you can see the number of rows changes are again appearing into the router as well. Alright. So let me move on and let me look into the rank quickly. So ranking. What does ranking means? Ranking is categorized in 2 categories. Bottom rank and top rank. Generally, the consideration of ranking will be happen in 2 ways, top and bottom. So if you have a normal data without rank, then nothing will be there. Like there's no specific specification given which will allow you to understand your business very well. You can't investigate your data which is normally written, right? If I'm going to rank it, like if you're looking for like the top best cities which is giving you more revenue, or like bottom most cities which is giving you revenue, then you can apply your rank, and based on this ranking your record will be delivered. I want to see only 3 best cities. As of now, I know that I'm in United States and I have a business over there. I have a sales business. So in the sales business, what are the city which is doing good as from the data? We are not going to look into each and every record. We will try to make it aggregate, and then we will try to make it group by some field, and we'll try to sort it out by using your rank. We'll sort it out in what manner? It's a type of sorting only which happens under the ranking. We say 3 best, so what it does, it takes the field which you have selected for calculating the ranking, and the ranking will be always calculated on top of the numerical data. Numerical data means the fact. The fact which we are getting it, based on that only, the ranking is going to be considered most of the time. So 3 best, 3 bottom one. How many records we are going to get it? Only 6. Where at the source side we have number of records. Let's say 24 records total we have at the end. It can conclude all 24 saying that 12 best and 12 bottom. Top 12 and 12 last bottom. So what it means? It is considering all 24 records to be published or populate onto the target side with specification that they are ranked. So in ranking, automatically the sorting will be happened in descending order. In ranking, we have sorting has been happened automatically in descending order, or if it is not happening, we are going to achieve it by using sorter transformation. But the row number is changing into the ranking as well. And as from this description, ranking has been taken into the category of active transformation. Alright, we are pretty good about the joiner because from the naming convention itself, it is pretty clear that it's gonna join something. So what it join actually? Joiner transformation allows us to join more than one table, even that the definitions are not same. And if I want it to be populate out in a particular fields from both the table by using a joining conditions. Alright, so we know that we have 2 tables A and B. If I have to take 3 fields from A, 2 fields from B, we are not taking all the fields, right? We are taking 3 fields from A and 2 fields from B. So at the time, we need to define the relationship between them. And based on the relationship only, my data will be reflect onto the target side. So if I do that, again my row number changes. Row number changes. That's how we categorize my joiner transformation. Alright, so let's move on and let me show you the normalizer transformation. So what is the use of a normalizer transformation? In normalizer transformation, like you can say, we are going to normalize the data in the format we are looking for. Like if I have any particular saying that, like I want to see that yearly account or yearly monthly account in multiple places. So it's nothing but it's like we are going and pivoting it. We are just normalizing the data which is written in different format. I have a data record which is available at my end for the year, and that is my sales data. So we have a sales revenue there, but those sales revenue has been distributed in monthly wise. So I don't want to take it in the monthly wise. We wanted to make it like my yearly product sale and the revenue generated by that. The revenue has been divided in monthly wise. If I have to take it those all as a one field, that is nothing but a sales revenue. How do we take it? We must have to pivot the all other months which is available inside the list, and the pivoting will be happened into a single column. That is nothing but a sales revenue. So that conversion happen under normalizer. The situation will be pretty clear when we deal with it. Alright, so anyhow, we had previously like 4 to 5 fields present onto the source side. Now I have 3 fields only, my year, the product, and the revenue generated by that. Alright, then moving on to the transaction. Transaction is basically going to be used, and the transaction is basically going to be used to calculate the revenue. So what it means? It is basically going to be used to calculate the revenue. So if I have to take 3 fields from A, 2 fields from B, we are not taking all the fields, right? We are not taking 3 fields from A and 2 fields from B. So it's nothing but it's like we are going and pivoting it. We are just normalizing the data which is written in different format. I have a business over there. I have a sales business. So at the place, you can say like it's least usable transformation inside Informatica Power Center. But again, as I mentioning, it is used for my exactly transformation, and it is used to control the transactional bounded by set of commits and rollback. Okay, there are rollback operations and commits will be given inside it. By that, I'm going to manage my transactions. Okay, we will bound the transaction based on my rollback and commit. So some of the dynamic filter or dynamic with conditions will be applied here. By using that, we are going to avail data set for like bounding my transaction. All right, so that is also my active transformation. When I say union, from the name itself, it's pretty clear that what exactly it's going to do, right? Union means it's going to take data from multiple sources. But there is one condition. It's gonna take the data from the multiple sources only if the definition of the table is same. So we must have to have the definition same. Then only I can say, oh, we are going to do union now, right? So union transformation, as the row number is also changing over here, I can consider it to be as a active transformation. Then we have XML source. We have XML source. As of now, we have seen like file as a source or any database table as a source, right? But what if we have XML as a source? XML file as a source, where we are doing a conversion. The whatever XML is written, I'm just converting into a tabular manner to populate the data set which is available inside that XML codes, whatever they are on the website. Let's say like there are codes running onto the website where the records are reflecting in a virtual way in a table format. So if I have to extract that table from that website, how do we do that? Simply we can copy and put it into the Excel and we can take it. That would be not but my Excel file, right? If I wanted to take it as a XML, I have a XML generator and we have a XML as a source by which we can convert those all codes into a table format. So generally what happened when we are converting it, my extra supporting rows are coming into it to support my table definition, because it's not a normal table, right? It's a XML written source. So XML written source, we are just converting it into a XML table, and there certain rows are also included to qualify it. Certain qualifiers are there which is going to qualify my this XML source. So as a result, we can also consider the number of rows is changed into the XML source. Let me quickly recall it. Filter, sorter, aggregator, router, rank, joiner, normalizer, transaction control, union, XML source are my transformations, which is categorized in active transformation. All right, let me move to the passive one, where passive is opposite of it. But I'm mentioning passive transformation is nothing but a transformation which does not include in changing number of rows. Number of rows does not include in changing. When data is moving from source to target, is known as passive transformation. All right, so we can see these are the list of transformation we have inside the Power Center, and out of these all 14, 10 of that is categorized in active. We have already seen that. Where passive side, we have expression. Expression, what is the point of using expression? When I'm having expressions transformation, we can write expression, we can write a formula by using my function, and I can achieve it which is not possible by certain transformations, right? So at this place, if I say like I'm going to write a formula for achieving a particular thing where order is not changing, the number of rows is not changing, then I can categorize this as a passive transformation. Certain cases you can say I have let's say I don't have a taxes calculated at my side. I don't know how much tax I have to pay it based on my salary. So I just want to calculate my tax and wanted to populate it out. So at that time, we don't have that rows present in the source, and it is now available onto the target side. But taxes for each row will be generated. There is no changes happening in the number of records present at my end. One extra column has been added with respect to the number of rows present on the source side. No changes is happening in the source data records or source number of rows. Okay, just we got one more column, which is nothing but my taxes in US. All right. So again, like number of rows are not changing. There is no change of number of records. 10 records are there in the source. 10 records has been passed to the target as well, and all 10 records taxes will be reflecting into the target side. So as a reason, expression transformation is considered as a passive transformation. All right. Then we are going to the sequence transformation. If I have to generate, like if I have SEDs, we mostly going to generate my surrogate keys, right? So at the time you have to generate those keys by using your transformation itself. So at that place, my sequence transformation will be used to generate my sequence number. So sequence number will be generated based on the record available onto the source side only. It's nothing to do to like they are going to generate the sequence of records like based on their own specific values. They generate based on the target on source only. So there is no record changes even happening into the sequence side. Where when I'm coming to the store procedure is nothing but a procedure by which you can call multiple function packaged under a one place. Instead of writing 100-line codes again and again, what you are going to do is going to write a store procedure as a variable, and you are going to save it. So instead of calling the 100 lines every time, you have to call the store procedure which has already those lines written inside it. So as a result, your process will be fast, already compiled, but nothing changes have been happened onto the target side, right? Source to target side, no changes happen. It's just for calling up everything again and again without writing it. All right. Then lookup transformation. As we know that lookup transformation is not a direct way of taking the table. It's an indirect way by which we are taking or populating any source table, right? Which is going to be populate out its data onto the target. Like we have a flow where we have a like formal source, my transformation, and the target. If I have to take it some table which is not going to affect the flow of this ETL, it need to be virtually accessed, then what type of table it will be? It will be a lookup table. So basically there's nothing to do with the row changes, right? There's nothing to do with the row changes in this place when I'm talking about lookup transformation either. So these are my 4 transformation which is categorized in the passive transformation category, and these are my 10 transformation which is categorized in the active transformation. So while doing this, we have to keep in the mind this process which is going to be happen inside my Power Center side. So this is all about your active and passive side.